What is up, slash all community? It's Brett here coming at you guys with the weekly podcast. Running a little bit late this week, getting to it on Thursday. I'm here joined with Brendan here, our commissioner. Uh, how you feeling tonight, Brendan?
Today I am feeling great.
Feeling great?
Oh yeah.
A lot of exciting changes here. I feel like we finally hit the stride. With the upper division, we've kind of hit the strides. We got some roster changes. We'll go over. We finally have some accurate power rankings. It's not just us guesstimating. But with all that said, we'll hop right in. Um, so there is a new patch out, and I wanted to start there as this is just like applies to everybody, anybody listening, all of our league players. So 13.17 it is out. You haven't gotten a chance to look at it, have you yet, Brendan?
Yeah, I mean I've played on it a little bit yesterday with the squad and then a little bit today and myself trying to grind those solo duo ranks, so maybe one of these games I can win my lane.
Maybe. We'll see. This one is actually going to make your ADC life miserable. Big highlight is a lot of the fighters got adjusted. Aatrox, Vi, Zenzel gained some adjustments to like be tankier. And I think this applies to our league's meta. We see the Vi, we play see the Aatrox get picked. So excited to see some of those bruisers come out, have a bigger impact in those 5v5 team fights. Thoughts on Static Shiv finally getting touched? Have you gotten to experience that as an ADC main?
I haven't been building Shiv very much. I guess one of the I will be honest, I've only looked at the ADC changes and a little bit of the support changes. That's where my focus is at. But one of the sad things for myself of AP Varus getting hit, so I know we've seen that from multiple teams, including myself. He's a static Shiv builder, so I haven't played AP Varus on this patch to feel the changes at all. I know static Shiv just constantly gets adjusted here and there, but I don't know how much it will actually really affect AP Varus. We'll see. I think Varus himself actually got touched versus the static shift changes because you don't really need that much from static shift to be able to insta clear a wave with Varus.
Yeah, it's exactly that. They adjusted the AP ratio on it so that specifically LeBlanc will hopefully stop building it. But LeBlanc had a really big home in season one, but we haven't seen it much this season. So there is that. There's the patch runs down from us small people over here at Slash All. Other news is the Snake Pits team unfortunately disbanded. They're struggling with scheduling restraints. So we already have a new team lined up. One that I'll be running up as team captain. So it's a really fun opportunity. So Tom Kinch line cooks coming out here, coming onto the Rift.
Oh
We
man,
are ready to cook.
look.
Um,
Oh, let me zoom in on this logo you made for the viewers. Oh wait, no, I gotta hold on. Trolling everybody that's looking. Oh yeah, look at that. Tom Kinch's line chefs. I guess you want it to be TLC. We're just gonna do some live editing because why not?
yeah, TLC.
There's the roster so far. You told me that Chrono Mist has joined the team. I have Fish listed. Oh, and then what is Jose Capablanca? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And then who's your mid laner?
Untapped. Friend,
Untapped.
IRL friend coming into the league. So that's the other fun thing with this team is they're getting some more people in the door, some new players. So you guys better be watching out. Some new pocket picks going to be coming out here. Supports are all team captains. It's the real life support, Sid. Supports on the rift and out the rift.
Yeah, no, excited. I've actually scrimmed with you guys, so I've had some experience with this team dynamic. So that was a lot of fun. So looking forward to you guys joining the league. You obviously have all the inside scoop on how the team's going. But we are seeing some familiar Snake Pit faces. It's more of a rebrand than a disband, I feel like, as three already. The three consistent members from the old Snake Pits are on the Kench's Line Chefs, so it was like almost a combination of two groups
We
coming
do
into
have to
one
pay
team.
a little bit of respect. Snake Pits is like a very sacred team towards fish. So big shout out to him. And honor the name, the team, the brand. I know TSI is a brand name that goes really hits home for you, Brendan. So you would understand that
Yeah,
kind
I
of.
guess I mean we have plenty of time to talk, right? So Team Solo Invade, the team that I run and Sid helps me captain. The very first, I think it was probably 2016, the first Clash they ever released, beta. Me and my buddies in college, the buddies that got me into League, decided to play in the very first Clash ever, and we all got hyped. We made our team name, Team Solo Invade, as we're sitting there watching Bjergsen run it, and TSM. We're like, oh, Team Solo Invade, because as the proper bronzes that we were just aimlessly running into the enemy's team's jungle all by ourselves. So that's what we called ourselves. Got already hyped for that clash, and then yeah, the beta crashed over and over and over again. I want to say like 3 times they would say, "Oh, clash this weekend." We'd all get together, and there was no clash because the servers couldn't handle it. So there's the
Oh,
start of TSI.
yeah, there's a story behind TSI. And this is a shout out for any other team. These are the stories we want to hear. As I start contacting the team captains, getting here on the podcast, be thinking about, why are you called word seekers? That kind of stuff. We want to hear those stories. But they're from TSI right there. Uh, some
Yeah.
history there. Um, that's all news and notes.
Well, I will say, since the last time, I can't remember if the last time we did this podcast had Misery joined the tournament at that time.
No, no, that happened uh this week too.
Yeah, so there's another news and notes that I forgot to write down in our podcast notes. The Misery Amethyst Phoenix, an organization run by uh, Misery JC. He's actually a member of Team Solo Invades Academy team. His Discord name is I Appreciate Gank, also known for doing super hype um, stream of Misery's last match. But yeah, he's the organization, the the organizer, the team organizer, and then their Platinum Emerald team, Amethyst Phoenix, has joined the upper division, and you can see them listed here.
Yeah. So, I mean, we can go. I was gonna say hold on this later, before I do power rankings, but since you already got this pulled up, we'll just it ties in perfectly here. So, two new teams coming on board, and then some roster changes across the board. Again, we kind of have hit the ground running. A lot of teams are making the changes they feel like they need to make, to really continue to stay competitive. So I'll start off with this one. Infernal Wolf Esports changed up their support role. So Sedan, Satan is coming in.
Sedaten.
Sedaten coming in the
Yeah.
support role, along with King Kubla, which is going to be really competitive. These both are really strong players, coming from Meta Shift, another server, coming on board here with this team. And then TSI, um, looks like Godwick is going to be moving around and replaced by Bud Light Drinker.
Yeah,
Am I reading that right?
that's our boy, Bud Light Drinker. Yeah,
Bud Light
we've
Drinker.
ran a couple scrims with him, a few flexes. He hasn't quit the team yet, so we're gonna give him a tryout. Or not, we've already given him a tryout, but our first stage match run tonight. So excited to have him on board.
So I think those are the only two teams have made complete main roster changes. Goon squads both continue to have the full roster with subs. Small note, on the Kinch's line cooks, Chronomist will be on that team as a sub. So we're gonna get to continue to see some Crompster gameplay.
Very good. Yeah.
That's all the roster changes. So it's a little bit hard, to go over the week one review for upper division, because we're like kind of looking at some skeletons here. But started off the week strong. Word Seekers with another 2-0 has been a very competitive team.
2-1.
Um,
2-1, I believe. Snake Pits took a game off of them.
oh, got you,
Up
got you, my bad.
refresh your thing, right? Oh, you may be up in week
I was
go
up in
down.
week.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
was
yeah,
in the
yeah,
wrong
yeah.
week. I mean, still, this is just how good they are. They're always winning, and it's always fun to watch. It's Yusuf, is as strong in the mid laner as he showed in season one. Is a big playmaker and kind of like point of he's like a catalyst for the team. He's constantly making plays happen. Played LeBlanc, Ari, and Zed. Really champions that don't need somebody else to go first. And is kind of the person who pulls the trigger to get the team fight started. Do you have any thoughts on this matchup from the week?
I know that they played one night they started at 11 Eastern, so kudos to those guys for being night owls. So I didn't catch much of the match. I only caught the post-game results, but just again, like you said, every match it seemed like the focus was around it's Yusuf in the mid lane as well as Free Young Thug ADC for Ward Seekers in the bot lane. Still great performance, obviously, from Snake Pits to take a game off of them as former Snake Pits, now Kench's line chefs. We'll see if the new roster changes are enough to turn that around. But yeah, taking a game off Ward Seekers has just proven over and over again how strong they are. If you remember week one, it shows that they played Infernia Esports, but they actually played against Banana Hammock Haymakers, who at the time had a Smurf. But they ended up winning anyway. so,
Yeah, just such a
uh,
strong team. And really kind of like you said, it's not just it's Yusuf, Free Young Thug. The carries for this team are threats. They put out so much DPS every single game. Even on this game that they lost, you're still looking at right here 29,000 damage on a Varus. Like, and that's on a game. Oh wait, wrong game. I'll go up. 30 damage, even more damage on this
30,000
Kaisa
damage.
in the
Yeah.
game they lost. Um, the AD carry just knows how to get that DPS out during team fights.
It must have been a different. Once we get to a different team, there was a. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. There was a different Varus game that I had in mind.
Uh,
From a different performer we'll get to. Sorry to spoil it.
so that is the rundown from Ward Seekers versus Snake Pits. Next one, Inferno Esports versus TSI, a 2-0.
These were
Any
stream
thoughts on this one?
matches. If anybody wants to like watch how hard one team can lose and how hard the other team can just absolutely stomp a team, go watch the VOD of Inferno Wolf Esports just obliterate Team Solo Invade to the point where we swapped out our jungler as well as just there's a lot of internal stuff that we had to get through after that. Just it wasn't close.
Yeah, let's not to play favoritisms. I want to hold back because I want to be nice, but um, really here, Inferno Esports came in with a game plan. Um, with the jungle, like we just pushed. As you watched, Godwick pushed out of his own jungle kind of both games. Um, both the support and the jungler moving into the blue side, invading on the camps, just letting him and then getting deep vision down. And this just kind of stalled TSI out. Typically they do try to set up either a Guri or Brendan with like some early ganks and try to get Snowball started there on one of their carries. But without a jungler's presence, they just got suffocated in both games ending before 30 minutes. But we see that, TSI making some roster changes trying to account this problem that they already see. On the other side of it, Inferno Esports also making some roster changes on it. Um, we'll see what happens there. There's a really strong showing from Ajuka. Inferno Esports played up to the top side, got the um, top side ahead. So then later in the game, they just left him on an island. There wasn't a lot of 5v5 fights, I feel like, during these matches. It was actually a lot of like TSI Smuggler was just stuck in the top lane on the Rumble. He wasn't allowed to leave. So again, just got suffocated out. So they try to make a change. They're bringing in a new support, so a stronger bot lane. We'll see if they play down to the bot side more. But as for playing the top side, setting a Juka up to carry, it worked for him this week.
For sure.
Uh, Missouri versus Infernia. Uh,
Yeah. I watched this one. The first game, definitely, I believe, yeah, Missouri got behind a little bit in the first game. It was the, like I said, first game for both of these teams in the tournament. Infernia had a little bit more experience in these types of tournaments than Missouri, but at the same time, like I said, I watched the stream that Missouri put on, as this wasn't a streamed match from Slash All, but someone from the Missouri org did put on a stream. Shout out to him for being a great hype man, a Captain Flowers, an amateur Captain Flowers in his own right. But as I guess as you can't see, as I'm looking at the stats here, Smokestacks in the top lane, 10-1-3 on Darius, as well as the Viego 6-1-2. If I remember correctly, those two got rolling in the early game very quickly, and then it just snowballed from there. But this is the Varus game that I was talking about, Mr. Miyagi for Infernia Esports on the Varus 009. His Renata picking up 3 kills, so the carry in that lane, that was the
uh,
funny Varus stat line that I remember entering into the spreadsheet this week. But yeah, that was just kind of a carry in the top lane from Smokestacks, and that carried over into game 2, which we saw Misery get out to an early lead. They were very dominant, I would say, up until about 15 minutes. They were running the pace of the game, picking up early drakes and everything, and then Smokestacks yet again on the Gwen. Not only caught up, exerted a ton of pressure, the game was actually ended with Smokestacks picking up this season's first pentakill that I know of on the Gwen to end that second game.
yeah, I'd credit where credit is due. It was cool. The Ezreal kind of came out and played really well in the bot lane, but it just was not enough to stand up to Smokestack's top lane gap was huge.
Yeah, no, like I said, very much things to learn from. I think as these players, I don't know how much they've all played as 5 yet, but as they play more as 5, I definitely see to watch Misery improve as well as Infernia Esports. They're a little bit more familiar with one another, having played in other leagues. So excited to see that. Yeah, and shout out to Smokestacks, definitely MVP of that series.
I want to hold my breath before we go on this next one on our notes here. We talk about the other live streamed game of the week. Shout out to all the lower division leagues. Lower division has finally launched and taken off, and we got to see our first live streamed match for the lower division. Dino Roars versus Team B. Dino Roars coming out 2-0. You, we were talking about this before. You didn't get a chance to watch that match, correct?
I think I did. I can't
Okay.
remember if I streamed it or not. I don't really remember, to be honest with you. But I did catch most of it, as far as I
I
can't
don't
recall.
remember
But
who did it with him, but shout out to Skiz the man. He was the one who was in my it was Skiz and somebody else casting that game. But for our lower division league, it was a lot of fun to watch. Dino Roars came out, played some Misfortune gameplay, along with the
oh,
CC.
I did watch that series. I now remember. Ash support was what carried that game.
Yep, I
Yep.
was getting there.
Yeah, okay.
Um, And I was just impressed for the lower division team. There was so much coordinated gameplay. Like you said, like it was an Ash support. We also had a Wukong always timing his ults perfectly to get CC layered on top of it. Um, it was just cool to see. In the lower division, there's a lot more coordinated play, um, and it's a lot more picks picked for like wombo combos and stuff like that. And so anytime we got a match going on, tune in. It's so much fun to watch lower division. Sometimes you see wards get placed that just barely don't make it into that brush, but these are the players who, give us a season next season they're going to be in Platt and they're going to come up here and they might be hard smurfing on us. But for starters, big shout out to Red for leading that lower division. Um, Congratulations to Dino Roars winning the first live stream match for lower division, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
We did
Uh,
have another lower division match take place last night. It wasn't streamed, but just for record keeping purposes, it was who did they fit? Catalyst Gladiators versus Iniquity last night. Iniquity ended up winning 2-1 in that match. So it was a three-game match for the lower division.
Ooh.
I haven't seen the statistics of that match yet, but I do know that happened. So shout out to Iniquity picking up their first win, and a shout out to Gladiators as well for taking it to 3 games.
I love 3 game series. So let's talk about the hype match of the whole week. Just happened. The Goon Squad throwdown took us all the way to game 3. Initial thoughts.
Extremely bloody match. Uh, very. I'm looking through the uh, post game post game right now. I guess maybe okay. The first two matches seemed to be a little bit more tame, but that last match we had a score of 40 for GSB kills. That is to 15 kills for GSW.
55 deaths in one game.
Yep, yep.
And that
So
and it's in a 27-minute game. This game didn't even make it to 30 minutes with 45 deaths.
55
Absolutely
deaths. Yep, in
insane.
27 minutes. So that one, that is what I felt out of that match was how bloody it was. I'm looking at Dongo Liquor picking up 17 kills on the Silas in the mid lane. That was definitely one that I watched and thought as the draft was going on, Goon Squad White ended up blinding Malphite and Maokai, not covering the Silas ban. I don't know if they knew or not, but Dongo Liquor feeling comfortable on the Silas being able to pick that up. So that was definitely the story of the match was the mid lane matchup. It was a Malphite mid versus Silas. Silas took advantage of that, had access to a lot of very good ultimates for GSW. But like I said, that match went to 3 games, so definitely there was a lot of competition in that. Goon Squad Blue ended up winning the first and third match. Goon Squad White winning the second match. And as I look over the stat lines right now, that looked like it was, how do you say that name? Kakoi, ADC for Goon Squad White, dropping 9 kills on the Zaya, as well as B-Hat running the Trundle in the jungle, picking up 9 kills. So it looks like those two, I didn't get to catch that match, but it looks like those two were the primary carries.
Yeah, and a big we point out the Malphite pick, but Odyssey or Odysseus on in the mid lane on that Diana had a really big part to play in some of these mid game rotations. Just really strong on kind of the melee AP champions, the Silas, the Diana, and here we got to see the power of that Diana pick in their hands. And then of course it's Gecko got to land on one of his favorite champions on that Renekton for that game 2, along with the Camille. So some AD carries for them, or AD carries in the top lane there. Um, but overall, big shout out to Yellow Goon, to the Goon Squad captain who took the win there. Uh, Goon Squad Blue beating out Goon Squad White. So we'll see if It's Gecko makes any changes come playoffs time. That I think that's it for the week rundown.
Yeah.
Am I missing anything?
No, our lower division obviously combined 2 weeks into one as we started halfway through last week. So we're wrapping up our first week of lower division this week. So there's still 3 games to be played. One of those scheduled for tonight, not the streamed game. You can actually catch the other designated streamed game for the lower division tomorrow night. It's going to be Captain Turtles Privates. Sorry. I had to remember from season 1. Captain Turtles Privates versus Event Horizon Invicta tomorrow at
Some old faces
8
and with some
Eastern.
new faces. That will be a
Yep.
fun match.
Yep. Our season 1 second seed and our combined, we only had one division in this first season, but Captain Turtles Privates came out very hot in season 1, claiming the second seed. So I think that's a wrap up for the week in review. So now let's look ahead. Like I said, we have some matches for the lower division still to happen this week, so I don't think we'll cover a preview until our next podcast once they get settled down into
Yep.
a week on week basis. But at least for the upper division here, what are your thoughts going into our first matchup that we're going to review here? Infernia Esports versus Inferno Wolf Esports.
I mean, throwdown of the fire themes. I think it'll be an interesting to watch because like we talked about a little bit, what we saw from this week from Inferno Esports was playing up towards Ajuka, and if that's what they decide to do in their week 3 matchup here, um, you're going right into smokestacks, and so really intense top lane matchup for this game. So we'll see what happens there. One of the two teams will kind of need their mid laner. We'll see if Sinja gets put onto a carry champion, is able to divert some attention from that top lane. But that's where I'm looking between these two games is what happens in the top lane matchup. What are your thoughts on the second game? Tom Kench Linecook's Goon Squad Blue.
Yeah, that'll be a tough match for our brand new team in Kench's Line Chefs going against GSB, our current number one seed. They have dropped one game on the season, so they are 4-1, so they're very strong. So it's gonna be a trial through fire or getting thrown into the pits right away. But I'm excited to see. I don't know what to predict. I haven't seen I haven't seen you guys play as a five yet, but you want to throw the insight. I mean, I was a part of a scrim with you guys, and we took down GSW, so we might as well be able to take down. You guys might as well be able to take down GSB, right? And you were
Yeah,
playing with a handicapped mid laner and myself.
I just want to say with this team, I think that you can win or lose a game based on draft. So be ready to see some new picks, some new champions coming out. That is my hope. I hope that we throw a champion at Goon Squad Blue where they go, I don't remember the last time I played against this. And that will either, like you said, that will put us in the dirts or be our shining beacon.
Yeah, our next
Um,
game on the list, TSI versus Goon Squad White, the other flip side of the Goon Squad. TSI are trying out a new jungler, so hopefully a new look for us. Um, we'll let you know how
And
that
I'm
goes.
I'm really scared for y'all. If I was Goons Squad White, I would be coming out foaming at the mouth. Like we just got our butts kicked. We just lost the match, and we're not dropping another game till playoffs. Is how I would be feeling. So I'm scared for you. Goon Squad White's gonna be coming out for blood.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Hopefully they don't catch us on the back foot. I won't give up too much in this.
And the,
Don't
we
want my
got
opponents to get the inside track.
Ward Seekers versus Missouri. Thoughts on this matchup?
So stream match tonight. Catch this game on the Twitch. 9 Eastern is going to be the start time. I mean, it's going to be our second game seeing Misery, their second game of this season. So excited to see the adaptations. They played just Tuesday, their other match. So quick turn for them. We'll see what adjustments they're able to make on the fly as they're going against another one of our powerhouses here in Slash All and Ward Seekers. With its Yusuf in the mid lane. I know they have some subs on Ward Seekers, so maybe an opportunity for Misery. Take advantage, catch Ward Seekers when they're not at full strength.
Full strength or not, it'll be fun to watch these subs come in. We heard from It's Yusuf in week 1. He said that all of them are comfortable flexing around, playing different roles. So we might be catching some people outside of their normal role, and we'll see if that's make or break. So that's the rundown. We talked about the roster changes. So um, our new lineup, Goon Squad Blue leading the charge.
For power
Followed by
rankings, you're saying, or standings?
standings, correct?
Standings. Yep, yep. I flipped over.
Oh, you're good. Wait, are they not the same thing? Do they not? Or power
No,
rankings
no,
and
no. Power rankings and standings are not the same.
oh, okay, okay,
Oh, actually, no, they're not. They're not. They almost were out of just like coincidence, but they are not.
okay. Well then, I'll run down the standings, and then you tell me your power rankings and where you disagree with it. All right.
Sure.
So Goon Squad's leading again, along with Ward Seekers, have been the 2-0, or 4-1 and 4-2. But so for standings, you just get 1 point for winning the series. We keep a record of game record just for tiebreakers.
Mhm.
So match record, both Ward Seekers and Goon Squad are 2-0. And then what puts Goon Squad up is having just one less loss. Just so like we're clear on how we're doing our rankings for everybody. And that's important, once playoffs come, if we have any tiebreakers. Tiebreakers are separated by the game record. Um, so there's that, and then just about a lot rest of the league. Oh, my screen's messing up here. Good Squad White, Infernia, and Infernal Esports both 1-1. Country's Line Chefs just taking on where Snake Pits were and their standings. So looking at the 0-2. And then Missouri and Team Solo invade 0-1.
Yep. We are choosing. So TSI played against Clown Brigades in the first week. Ended up Clown Brigades getting comp ruled out of the league. So we are going to offer to make up that match against Misery, but they have already had 2 matches this week. So not gonna try to make them
Makes them play three
play
matches.
3 matches in 1 week. So that one will be rescheduled. So that's why there's one less game played for those 2 teams.
But for me personally, like this lines up with I think where I would have my power rankings. I personally would put both my team and Inferno Esports above Infernia. There wasn't a lot of promising gameplay outside of just the top lane. I would want to see a lot more coming out from that team than just smokestacks. But we'll see if that comes to fruition as we continue on. What's your disagreement with this one when it comes to power rankings? You might be muted.
That was accidental. Sorry about that.
Boom, we
I
figured it
have
out.
yeah, I have Kench's Line Chefs below Misery. So to round out the bottom 3, I've got Misery, Kench's, and then Team TSI down there in the bottom, as we have yet to even pick up a game. So that's what I have for us, as well as I have Infernal Wolf over Infernia, just because of Sinja being there, obviously, and then Ajuka single-handedly seeing the carry potential that has. And then for my top, the top 3 I've got GSB, Ward Seekers, and Goon Squad White, the way that it's listed right here.
For sure. That they have come out to show being the strongest top 3. What it's 36 minutes. So we're gonna be wrapping up here really soon. Try to stay under 3 minutes, but of course go over it. So if you have any questions to anybody listening, go ahead and tap them in there, and we'll respond to them real shortly. So start putting your questions into chat. Schedule matches for the rest of this week. We have 4 games happening today. Streaming one of them, the Ward Seekers versus Missouri, tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. Come tune in, watch some competitive 5v5 league. Lots of fun. So 4 games tonight between upper and lower division. Then tomorrow we got lower division, CTP, some old faces coming in 8 p.m. Eastern, versus EHI. What's that team?
Event Horizon
Event
Invicta.
Horizon.
Hmm.
Yeah, Event Horizon. So the one game tomorrow for lower division streamed tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, and then an upper division game being streamed tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. Come tune in, have some fun with us. Um, have we talked about lower division? Yeah, we did. And then, Brendan, how do people access the VODs for VOD review?
Yeah, so in the Slash All Discord, we have a social links channel. So I usually save off the VOD in Twitch as well as uploading it to the YouTube. Takes me some time to do that, but you should be able to check that out on there. Trying to think if you can't just see our previously broadcast, or only I can see that because I have access to it. But either way, it'll get saved off and uploaded to YouTube once I have time to do that. So look for that sometime today. If not today, then tonight, kind of thing. So as well as you can catch all of our other podcasts, I should all be posted to the YouTube, and you can catch them there. And then regarding the lower division, our lower division commissioner Red normally would join us on the podcast here, or some representative of the sorts for the lower division, but he is busy right now. So I don't have a ton of the inner working details of the lower division, as he's been handling a lot of that. But there also hasn't been a ton that's happened. We've only had 2 matches, and then 3 matches to look forward to, and it's kind of hard to predict those as we haven't seen those teams yet. A lot of new faces, so excited to see how they play out. And then we can get more of an analyzation and read on the lower division.
Sweet. So that I think answers all the viewer questions that anybody posted in chat. Um, to kind of reference something that you said earlier, um, if you ever want to join the Discord, be a part of production, meet the players, all of us are in a Discord, so come join the Discord. It's where a lot of the information and fun happens. I think the most fun happens in Smack Talk channel in the Discord. That's where I've had the most fun I think I've had with this community. And then secondly, we do have a YouTube channel being put into the mix. Um, so you can find that both in Twitch and then the Discord. So those are our other two platforms. And of course, on this channel, where we live stream our games, got one tonight, got one tomorrow. That's a wrap. Any last things, Brendan?
Yeah, you can also catch all the game VODs of our Twitch streams on the YouTube, so not just the podcast, but also the games will be archived there. And then just to kind of reharp on what you said, is I'm the overall commissioner, so I see a lot of the inner workings. Yeah, we're always looking for production people. So whether you have always wanted to cast, or you want to give casting a shot, let me know. DM me, the Brendan and the /all server, or if like you even are going to be watching the game and you want to just run some OBS for us, so the casters can focus on the action, we will always be happy to take that. As I have everything set up on OBS, I can give it to you. I just need some operators sometime. As we have 4 matches each week, always looking to add to the production team. And give people an opportunity. So I think with that, I think I've covered it all.
I, I'm gonna keep doing the thing where I say, and lastly, and lastly, and lastly. Lastly, thank you to everyone already who's helping out with production. Um, I know for me personally, about 6 months ago, when Brendan came to me, he was like, "Hey, I wanted to run a competitive league for League of Legends," and like that's crazy idea. And here we are, we're on our second season. We have live stream games with like dynamic videos, and we have like above 10 teams of like 5-man rosters who are playing together and having fun. Like I'm going to get emotional talking about this. Like thank you to everyone, the players, the production crew. Like this is a dream come true, and it's been so cool to see come together. So thank you, everybody.
Yeah, it's been really fun.
With that, that is episode 3 of Slash All Pod. I'll Brett, I'll be here next week. Hoping to have a guest star, one of the players, one of the team captains next week. And we'll see you guys tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Sweet.